Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks Thursday night. We have with us most of the usual crew, even though it's summertime. There's most of the crew is here. We got the Bricksmith with 2/3 of tons of funds. We got Dana, we got VW, we got Matthew, we got Meredith, who hasn't been here for a little bit.
Yay, she's back.
For a minute or two.
And another Canadian. Let's put the Canadians on the bottom row.
Dual Canadians.
There we are.
July. Oh my
You're
God.
used to being on the top row.
We're using all the bandwidth.
So
Canada's in a brownout now.
in the chats, we got Gary Mullane from Ireland. Hello, and Andrew Sada. And I think the two of you that's all we got right now.
It's going to be a slow Thursday. What can we say?
Well, it's summertime. It might.
Ooh. Oh, Julian has a Jeff growing out of his beard.
Jeff, when you looked forward, it looked like that shelf behind you was your hair. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It is in the Bricksmith residence currently.
I am still currently and continuously collecting AFOLS. If you are in the Tallahassee area, I need to collect you.
You're like the marble collector, but you're collecting.
So
Blink twice if you're happy, Jeff.
So how many blind bags did you have to fondle before you got Jeff?
Oh my
although now,
I stopped when I fondled Jeff.
so I have to say that I've seen pictures of Jeff, and of course we have him on here all the time, and without a frame of reference, I would have thought that Jeff was a little shorter. And now I am completely wrong.
Told you.
I'm very tall.
Yeah. So now that there is a frame of reference to show that Julian and Jeff are both large and in charge.
Yeah, I thought Tons
That
of
is a
Fun
fact.
was
We are a force to reckon with.
Yes.
We made cars do this all the way.
I thought Tons
Speed
of Fun was
bumps?
just
We
a
got
catchy
scared.
name.
Yeah.
No, the transmission got scary.
Yeah,
That's what that smoke was.
yeah.
There was these parts that kind of fell off.
Well, first of all, the last time I saw Julian, I was like, when did you grow 3 inches? And then Jeff walked in and I was like, you make Julian look small or short. I was like, not expecting that because he's always sitting in a chair. Like, I had no idea you were that tall.
Well, it was like Brian Rooney was at ABC with us the Saturday before, and I come walking in and I'm like, Brian's short. I expected him to be like, because he seems like that skinny, tall, lanky kind of guy, and no, he was like maybe 5'5", 5'6".
Oh, so tall.
For you, Bill.
Just put a reference.
Are you telling us
4'11"?
You're Canadian puck sized? Is that what this is?
I mean, Gil's not 6'4".
Only in spirit.
That's what you look like on camera. I mean,
Well, only when he brings out the guns. Those increase his size
Good
exponentially.
Lord, yes.
Yeah.
That's how they grow them in Canada. Yeah.
It's those Canadian wasps. They
You
like
gotta
have
be
antlers and
I thought it was the moose genes. You're crossbred with moose.
that's right. We drink their nectar.
So it looks like Chris is going to the movies.
Oh, it's not a date night.
Invite us.
is that what they're
It's
calling
family
it?
date night.
So glad that he invited us with him. Of course, actually, you know what? It doesn't surprise me that he joined the chat because literally every time Chris says he's not going to be on the stream, he shows up at least minimally in the chat, or he shows up at the very end of the show, no matter what. So I don't know if it's control issues or yes, it's control issues.
That's that.
You know what it's like? It's like those old Dean Martin specials, right? Where you never think like there's not like whoever is not going to show up in a million years. The music kicks in, and
It's like when you're in high school and you went on your first date and your parents just happen to drive by and you're like, that's a coincidence.
there's
I
nothing
haven't
wrong
said
with
it
that.
never happened, but all All right, Mark, this is your ship, so you
Wait,
steer it whatever direction you want to.
I think.
So
Well,
it's like
I think
when
Brian.
you go on your first date and you see your parents drive by, and your girl says, "Hey, I think I just saw my aunt and uncle drive by."
That's awkward. That's awkward.
Then you know you're in Tallahassee.
There's Brian.
It's Brian.
Look how tall he looks.
I'm getting a Jay vibe, as in a Jay and Silent Bob vibe with the hat on and the hair.
I'm
I'm
thinking
getting
he's
more of a Bob
frozen.
Marley
He's
fix.
either frozen or
Oh.
he's really pissed off.
I don't know if he can hear us.
Seriously pissed off.
Statuesque right there.
Yeah, my
We've kind of got audio.
He should have.
There's a voice. Deus ex
Because
machina.
I'm stuck. Stuck in the interwebs.
just as Vans.
It kind of looks
okay.
like we're visiting him in like jail. Like all we need is like the mesh.
Yeah.
Wow,
I talked
everything is
about that.
cutting out for me.
I gave
It's
him
still
an idea.
lagging.
Yep, he's so lagging.
Are you using Gil's internet?
That's right.
Pedal
He's
faster.
VPN'd into Gil's house.
Tell the warden we need 5 more minutes. We're going over your case.
Just off camera is the yeah.
Well, how about we talk to Meredith because we haven't seen you.
Who's she?
Yeah, I had family visiting, so I hadn't seen in like a year and a half because of COVID, but we're all vaccinated, so. Yay. And that also coincides with my guest bedrooms in the basement here, so I can't build.
Then they can't come to my house.
Yeah, well, and then I'm having another family come in a couple of weeks, so I still can't build. But Natalie and I have been painting mini dolls, and I know this is so girly.
Those are so cute.
You did a great job. They look so good.
You know,
Sailor Moon.
because it's on Netflix, and Natalie's like, "Ooh, Sailor Moon." I'm like, "Yeah, this is the first anime your mom ever watched." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm still at the stage where what mom does is cool. I know that's going to end shortly. So she's making me make all 9 of them. So I've done my favorite ones first. And this hairpiece is actually off the Chinese knockoff mini figure I got.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm like, how is that hairpiece just perfect in an actual
Chinese.
Lego part? So
It was off a $20 like regular minifig set. So here they are in all their glory. And then unfortunately, Sailor Neptune, I've learned you don't use this hairpiece on mini dolls because it won't come off.
so that is now a permanent piece.
That is a permanent piece, but I'm redoing her with a different piece. So we've been doing a lot of this because we can't go in the basement and make messes because we designed this house with a guest basement. So, but we did buy the Frozen castle thing. It's big. So that's being built. She built that upstairs, and it's gorgeous. I know not everybody loves the opalescent trans blue, but you know, I can't.
Opalescent trans blue. Woohoo!
It got me. I don't know why it got me, but it did. So that's pretty much our biggest purchase lately is that and painting mini dolls. So hopefully once all of the post-COVID family visits are over, we can go back to actually building something.
Was it Brian building a certain vehicle?
He's building the Ferrari. He builds all the cars because that way he can say, "Honey, I know you love cars, so here's your Porsche. I don't have to buy you one. This is your GT3." So he's building me. He built it for me. So he's building me the Ferrari right now, and all I can think about is Fast and the Furious, where Paul Walker pulls up to the Ferrari, and the director is actually in his Ferrari, and Paul Walker goes, "Hey, how much is that? What does that run you?" And he's like, "It's a Ferrari, pal, more than you could afford." And ironically, now the meme is, you go on eBay Motors and Supras cost more than that model Ferrari.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been up to.
Well, alrighty. And what's going on in Canada? We haven't heard from you in a while, sir.
How's the snow?
Oh, it's glorious. It's like a frozen wonderland out there. Yeah, and actually the opposite of that. It's been like Georgia crotch hot for like 2 weeks, and like the worst possible time to be doing landscaping, which is what we've been doing. So yeah, it's been unpleasant. I would much rather have been here, but
2 showers a day weather.
yeah, no need, because like I'm having a shower just standing there on the end of a shovel. So, but yeah, other than that, it's been good. I guess one thing, just to go back to Meredith's bit, is that I actually went to high school with Sailor Mars, or at least
Yeah, I think all the English dubbed voice actors and actresses are usually, it was a Canadian production crew.
oh,
Yeah.
there you go. So yeah, so that's I just know, because in high school, when she was already getting into that stuff, it's like we're all taking the bus and she's driving like a Golf Cabriolet. So yeah,
Yeah. That's Sailor Moon money.
yeah. So yeah, other than that, that's it. Not too much in the way of building or nerding or anything else of that sort. Just outside, boring, sweating, and watching my back shrivel into a wizened husk. So that's it. It is.
Sorry, I'm driving a little slow this evening.
I like the awkward transitions.
Yeah, usually I'm doing transitions while Chris is talking.
Yeah.
And you got to do it all yourself. It's a little slower.
Chris is probably going to say something in the chat.
Does Rich know that he can just turn his camera off?
Well, okay. What's going on with you, Jeff VW, while we're talking to Canada?
That's about right.
We got no audio. Okay.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Rich, what are you doing?
Hey, I'm showing off my new logo for the place.
Oh, fun.
What I'm doing in my retirement. Ooh, that sounds like a thing for a show.
Sure.
Yep, I got these. We got these purchased. This logo purchased, and I've been putting it up on various windows to let people know that we'll be opening in 2022. And back there, okay, yeah, more color back there. We're recycling to clear out, and I got my 5th bench, my 5th and final bench. Done with the benches. No more benches. I'm sure everybody's tired of benches and wants to get right back to Lego. Getting prepared for Brick Fair, Virginia. I wasn't planning on participating in the boat race anyway, so meh.
What happened with the boat race? I saw that message. Now it's the oat race?
The pool is closed.
Oh.
They said, we're not opening up the pool for COVID people this year.
You guys could come up to my B&B. I'm right on the C&O Canal. We could just have the boat race there.
If you can hear
yeah,
me, Jill and I both have pools.
We got you, Jeff.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Jill and I both have pools, so they can just come to Canada.
Yeah, we'll come up there for Brick Fair.
Well, I'm pretty sure your prime minister hasn't opened the border yet.
We could just do remote. You could label each boat, and then we could route over the internet.
Yeah.
That smacks of effort.
All right. Well, we got audio from VW. So what's happening in your neck of Canada?
I forgot what I was going to say. Which figures.
There's a landing bay that's been on Instagram. I've seen that.
Oh, this thing back here?
This little thing? Yeah.
By the way, I bought this guy years ago, and I just discovered yesterday that he can stand by himself. I never realized this until I set it down, like, because I was there. I guess there's a few new plush characters on Shop at Home, like Shark Suit guy, and there's a unicorn person, and I'd never known about that. And someone showed it in my chat yesterday, and I'm like, what? Where did that come from? So then I pulled out this guy, and I set him down on the table, expecting him to flop over, and every time he stands up, I'm like, what? Anyway, there. Okay. Yeah, I've been working on my base a bit. move this other stuff out of the way. Car's falling, but that's okay. Haven't really gotten much done in the past few days, but working on the Hainer area. I think I showed this off on Monday, on Messy Mondays, and I haven't really gotten much more done on it. Get that out of the way too. And I'd throw over to my other camera, but I had mic issues. I don't want to have camera issues too. What else? Built a few of the speed champions in the past few days because I didn't feel like actually, building anything custom, so I built these guys. Trying to think what else.
So
Did
Jeff,
Jeff,
the purpose of the hanger, is that just to go up there on the shelf as a continuation with the other one, or is that like for like showbound kind of thing, or both?
Both. I originally was working on this one before I started before I started that one.
Yeah.
And once I was finished with that one, for the most part, I wanted to get back and finish this one here. But I also am designing it now to go onto a shelf. It won't be right beside this one. I'm going to have one more in between that will be the classic space theme.
Gotcha.
This is just really so that I can build spaceships and have a display for it and bring it to shows and stuff too. So, but and the other thing was I ended up buying one of these dots cubes.
They're kind of cool, aren't they?
They are. I bought the cube. Here's the bag of parts, still in the bag, because whatever. I was just checking it out for the cube, and I ended up realizing that the 45-degree slopes.
Yeah.
Fit quite nicely. Nice. Yeah. There is a gap in between, and the further the further you go out, the wider the gap gets. So it's not quite a 45-degree angle. But I think that's with most of these bricks anyhow. The problem is, though, you can't do it on this piece, on this side, because 245s coming in push out a bit, because this is actually thicker than the base. But, I was just playing with that just to see what the math is involved. And I haven't gotten that far other than putting some pieces on it. So, but, yeah, that's about it for me, too. Haven't done much.
Well, that's pretty cool. Interesting to know. So let's see, Matthew, what's going on?
Yes. So I am on the countdown, 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks to Brick Fair, Virginia, and so I am trying to finish this baby here, and the top has been unfinished for months, so time is there. So one of the things that it's taken me a lot longer. I thought I can knock out the roof in a day, but that has not been the case. But I had some fun, and I bought the Harry Potter ones when they showed up on Bricks and Pieces. So I used upright clip holders to create this little effect. And I spent forever figuring out how to do the angled roofs today, but finally got it solved. And so we are about to use slope tiles to fill in the rest. And hopefully by tonight, this baby will be done.
It's moving so much.
And then all right, I'll set the camera down so I can turn this thing.
Earthquake mat.
And on the other side.
Oh, that's nice. Wow. That's
man,
really
I thought we were in the
nice.
Blair Witch for a second. Would that camera work?
Yeah.
I was getting seasick.
I decided to swap out the whatever they just light nougat for the dark orange, and then I just put in some dark orange accents here, and I put in the alternating colors. And when I first did this was set back a stud, and it was kind of, and then I just was like, well, let's move it out one stud, see what it looks. And it actually looks, I'm very pleased with the effect. So this curves out, and then this curves back. And then I'll put something else here for the roof, for the back side of the roof. So that part I haven't quite figured out yet. But knock on wood, by midnight, 1 a.m., the roof will be done. And this one can go on the shelf as ready to ship. And off we go, hopefully.
How many more do you have to do?
Because
that's really nice.
The triangle areas of that entire row have to be done next week. So we got a lot of little things to wrap up. So. And I also have a Maddie. So sadly, she's not here, but she saw it on Monday. So.
Do you want to talk about what else you got?
Yes. So
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
it's definitely swooshable. I better try really hard not to. So this is
Ooh.
the right flyer, and which I acquired with some help from Mr. Jeff. And it is a set that I had been trying to re-brick, and the pieces in it are not that common. Not super expensive, honestly, but they're just not that common. Like these long things. There's a ton of these in like translucent colors and black and different colors, but the brown ones are not common. And these shaped sort of odd shaped plates, the curved plates, came in this set.
They're wedges for boat poles.
Right, and they're just not in a ton of other sets. So there's these boat prow pieces, and I had been collecting pieces and throwing them in a bin, like this connector piece in brown, just not that common. Some of these other things in black, and so I re-bricked a number of sets over the years, but this one I was making very slow progress. I wasn't very far to re-bricking it. The other thing that I think is kind of interesting is if I hold it, I'll try to hold it level, is that if you see photographs of the original Wright flyer, there's a slight bend in it, and there's a slight bend here. And I don't know if that's just because it sat on display or if that's an intentional effort to give it just an ever so slight curve, just like the old photographs of the Wright flyer. So this is one of the historical models. I've never seen anybody talk about this, but it's been one that I've been wanting to have in my collection for a long time, basically since the moment I found it existed. So, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to hang it because I think it'll obviously look better suspended than just sitting on a shelf. Or I guess I could get one of those translucent display stands, which I have a couple of those. I could set it on that, but I really think it'll look best hanging up. I don't know if it should go in the Imperial section or the Rebel section with the other ship. But yeah.
Does anybody else want to see its first flight?
I already flew home, so it's done. I don't really want to rebuild it. I do have the instructions, but I don't really want to rebuild it. So.
Well, that's awesome. So I'm going to take a moment to say hello to some other people who have shown up in the chat. We've got Lego Productions, Seth, whom we saw yesterday down at ABC. Let's see, Brian is now in the chat because he just couldn't get it together with his computer and his phone. And Blue is here, Brickman Mosaics Art. Hello, hello to all of y'all in the chat. And what's going on, Jeff? Yeah. I mean, you get those guys in a room and you just never know what's going to happen.
They're muted.
Are you playing Silent Bob?
What's going on?
Hey,
Hey,
hey, which one's the fat one?
me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so nothing's going on. I'm in Florida.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
When did you get there?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
Condolences.
I have found out 3 things in the last few days. Jeff can no longer sit in economy seats. Airplane delays are the worst. And Delta was like, hey, we'll pick up your tab for your canceled flight. Don't worry. Also, enjoy first class.
Nice.
Nice.
So I'm going home in style tomorrow, early in the morning. Got to be on that airplane about 6:30, and then I'm out of here. So I should be home around like 11, which is nice.
I think we need to see that hat on Bricksmith, though. Except he's being handed.
That's a baby, not a hat.
Yeah, don't put the baby on your head.
Baby hat.
No. All right, we
gotta see. There we go. Hats on the baby. Nice.
Nice. To your mother.
So shout out to ABC for not throwing in the hat like they said they would.
Meow, 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 meow.
Also, this happened.
Hey, all right.
So what's the story on the original firehouse that didn't happen?
I got scammed for $525.
Ouch.
Oh
Did that get resolved or?
no, scammed. He used the word scammed. That means gone. Sorry,
Jeff,
man.
am I in a pretty princess room or what's the deal? Well, man, if you watched the show before, Vic Smith is known for building a giant pink castle. So, no, I'm not in a pretty princess room. I'm hanging out with my friend Julian because that's what you do when you go visit people.
Hi, I'm Rick Smith, and welcome to the YouTube.
Finally.
But life's
It's
good.
been so long since I've heard that.
Hey, Friends colors are the best colors.
Hey, so I
Amen.
got suckered, and I bought that Driss Duerden figure yesterday from ABC.
Which one?
They made a custom Driss Duerden. You know, Night Elf Ranger, Dungeons and Dragons, Forgotten Realms.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
So I bought him. And his kitty cat Guinevere.
Nice.
So
So you got to give us a little bit more of your details of. So what was it like walking into?
I was very overwhelmed and needed a cigarette within about 3 minutes.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah. It was just wall to wall. It was crazy.
Floor to ceiling.
I took it as a once in a lifetime opportunity and I paid for it. So, yep. I have every grail I've ever wanted except for a monorail.
Ooh.
So, life is good.
So are you gonna share with us what you got, or no?
Dana, there's not enough time.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Special episode of Tons of
What
Fun.
was the- that'd be a whole show.
How about
you miss out. He has to have stuff for his whole video.
True.
how about what was the first thing you were like, yeah, that one.
The first thing that I was like, yes, absolutely, was when Chris brought me the Ghostbuster Firehouse.
Ah, okay.
And he was like,
That was a gimme.
here.
But what was the first thing that as you were walking through the store, you're like, need.
This is going to sound really stupid.
No,
and you guys
no,
are going to be like, really, Jeff? And I'm going to be like, yeah. So the Ultra Agents are the Agents 2.0 spinner. The black car with the spinner. I was like, I've always wanted this. So I got it. And I'm looking at it, and I didn't know it was a spinner until I had it in my hands. And I was like, wait a second. Okay, well, time to rebuild this a bunch of times. And, you know.
Yeah. Serious question. Did you get yourself any Jack Stone?
No, missed it.
Man.
You missed.
I
Who's
missed
gonna
it.
be the Galador of the next, Galador craze.
We
Although
did take a picture in front of Bionicle and show
I
it
saw
to Chris.
that.
when I walked past a case with Matthew, he pointed at some Jack Stone figures and said, "I didn't think those were Lego." When I was sorting through a yard sale haul one day.
They're
I've
not.
thrown those out.
You were absolutely right.
I am
That's
now.
okay.
This is my new thing. I'm collecting Jack Stone.
Nice.
It's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Come on, it looks like Tony Stark. Don't you want like a Tony Stark?
He does. He does.
He
There's no
kind of
lie,
looks like
it
a
does look like
'90s boy band dirtbag. Is kind of what he looks like. But yeah,
Well, actually,
which
you
is
just
like Tony
described
Stark. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say.
Alcoholic, all those things.
So this
On that note, let's talk to John. What's going on?
Oh, never mind.
Hey,
What's going on?
John,
okay, I guess
Don't
that
be
was
rude.
done. It's fine.
Wait. Well, anyway, talk to John first. We'll come back to him.
What was that, Dana?
I said we'll talk to John. We'll come back to
No. That
Jeff in a minute.
Gone.
Whoa.
Just hold
No,
Jeff.
no, it's fine. It's fine. Hi, John.
Hey, Jeff.
How's your bear jamboree coming?
I'm still thinking on it. Give me time. Give me
He's
time.
gonna do it.
I know. It doesn't feel like he's gonna do
No,
it.
I got enamored by the promo sets that they're doing at the store openings now of like the giant minifigure. So I designed myself up a Mickey Mouse version. So that's what's in my bags right now, ready to get put back together. So that's really exciting.
That doesn't sound like Country Bear Jamboree.
Does
No,
not.
no, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
Does not.
Just prepping for Brick Fair and that kind of stuff is taking over my brain a little bit, and talking to folks about all the weirdness that's going to happen in a couple weeks. So just basically where my brain is to have a
John, do you go to Rick Fair, Alabama?
no. Every time. No, I don't.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah,
And I hope you realize that that question is going to continue to happen until you go.
I understand.
Okay, just as long as you're on the same page as we are.
I like my
He doesn't go.
You know, we have national parks down here. You could schedule a work training event at Horseshoe Bend National Military Park.
or not.
A sabbatical. A
Hey,
sabbatical.
You could burn your
Take a
forest down, and then
sabbatical.
you wouldn't have to be a park ranger anymore.
That got dark.
Real quick.
Ooh, yeah. So yeah, that's I'm working on a giant Mickey right now. That's the next plan. So
Wait, how big is a Mickey bottle?
I was gonna say, up here, a Mickey is something very specific. Yes.
yeah,
Well, he is wearing the shirt.
there, a giant mouse, a mouse that people worship. So
Got you.
We call those moose.
Moose and squirrel.
the moose out front should have told you we're closed.
And for the record, John, I'm driving to Brick Fair, Alabama, so I don't know why you can't.
Ooh, gauntlet thrown.
I've already got my tickets. I mean, I've already got my. I've already signed up. So
Yep. If VW can make it, and you know Gil's riding with you, right? That's
if he wants to,
and they're
Yeah, but
stopping
he's
to pick up
not
Maddie along
from
the way.
Fair,
I'm picking Maddie
Virginia.
up on the way too. So
Just
He's
and
not coming to
Maddie.
Brick, Virginia, though.
Wait
I
a second.
can't cross the border, Rich.
I was gonna say, your handsome prime minister hasn't opened the border. You're extremely handsome.
Meredith hasn't talked to our handsome prime minister to get us across the border yet.
We can actually go now. It's us is fine. It's actually you guys coming this way.
You mean are really not handsome president?
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah, pretty much.
Change executive. What do you call it? Executive leaders.
Exchange of
What you got there,
ideas and
Jeff?
spirits.
It's my Arkham Asylum.
It's the best one, too.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
I've
the
always
best
wanted
one,
an Arkham
too.
Asylum.
Wait a minute, whose house?
But like I said yesterday, I got a lot of the grails that I've always wanted, and I'm so happy right now. You all have no, maybe you do, but I'm ecstatic.
Sweet, man. Good stuff.
Did you clear them out?
No,
You can't clear that place out.
Oh, the big things you can.
Big things, yes. The bulk, probably not.
yeah, I
They-
might
they-
have
there's
I might
more
have
in the
some
basement.
idea, Jeff. I think I have an idea of
You
how.
do, you
Little
do.
something there.
I got this yesterday.
Oh,
I can't find it, but I bought some sort of Spirius thing
so
too.
nice.
Oh,
And I-
my.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that guy supposed to be in there?
That is the original classic spaceman.
But
Like,
I mean, look how nice the flap is still actually in really good shape.
I bought the Spirius Moon base yesterday too, so I'm really excited about cracking that open tomorrow.
This
You're
quarter's
killing
not-
me.
you know. But a lot of the box does actually look pretty darn good.
That looks pretty.
Dana, who has 2 monorails, is like, you're killing me.
Look at all those nice alt builds, isn't that neat?
Oh,
Ooh, ah.
It's so neat. Space.
Nice.
Can we come over and like all do the alt builds like one at a time?
I don't know.
I think he just wants to come over to your house and fondle your box.
Whoa.
good night, everybody.
I was gonna drop a out of context reference of another member, but I'm just gonna let it
I
slide.
love that one. Just let it ride now.
Yeah, don't let anybody talk about anybody else's member, man.
Well, speaking of which, what's going on, Dana?
Oh,
Wait, did you just call Dana a member?
He's a member of Peach Lug.
I have been
There it
referred
is.
to as a member from time to time. So take that as you will. Take it as you will. So not much since Monday. If you were around for Messy Monday, I did show off and talk about the old Pikachu back here.
You showed off your member?
Now I'm showing off my big. I don't know. Is that what kids are calling it these days? Your Pikachu? I don't know. Other than that, then I'm also working on. We've got a lug challenge to do a 8x8 habitat monochrome, which was actually Meredith's suggestion.
Speaking of which, when does that due?
Speaking of which, check the Facebook group page.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Oh, that was my idea. I better build one.
No, I think it's not due till like the end of the month, like July 30th or 28th or something like that. I don't know. So I have to do an orange one because it's me. So I'm doing an orange one, and then I might do a blue one, and then I might do a gray one. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I just realized that I have a lot of orange, but I don't have a lot of like fiddly bits. So we'll see on that. I'm trying to see if I can fit my balls into it. Give or take. I'm on a mission to fit my balls into this mock.
That was
subtle. So I did get one other thing this week. I think I showed this up. This is for my Peach Lug fans out there and the glorious viewers. So I did make a little Peach Lug mega brick. So it's like a 1x1 brick with a 1x1 plate on top to look like a little peach because that's our logo. So I went ahead and ordered on Bricklink, or not Bricklink, Bricks and Pieces. So I got a Bricks and Pieces order in of all this gloriousness to make 20. And you say, Dana, but there's got to be more than 20 people in Peach Lug, right, Julian? Thanks for playing, Julian.
Oh, we muted. Yeah, we muted because the baby was doing things.
There's got to be going on. Anyway, I'll work without him for a moment.
Sorry, hang on a second. I think we got Brian now.
Oh, Brian!
Hey, Brian!
I came in at just the right time. I heard that Dana was stuffing his. Anyways.
I was putting my balls into my mock. I do.
It's too close to mouth.
Well, with that one, I'm out.
Well, I mean, I could start doing that South Park chef song. Anyway, moving right along. I don't want to get Chris dinged for copyright information.
Watch the recap of this.
So anyway, I've got pieces for 20 bricks, and Julian pointed out to me 2 weeks ago. He's like, "But that's not enough for everybody in Peach Lug," and I'm like, "Well, but I was ordering them for me," and then I was like, "Oh, so maybe I should order them for everybody in Peach Lug." So we had a board meeting yesterday, and I can say that I today ordered enough pieces for another 30 for all 50 members of Peach Lug. So everybody in Peach Lug will be getting a nice little bag of parts and some instructions to build their own upscaled brick peach. So I'm excited for that.
Okay, so you had a board meeting. So what do y'all got to say about my friend that wanted to join?
So I thought I talked about this. So the board discussed this at a prior engagement, and they said that if a member outside the state wants to join, they're more than welcome to join and pay the fees to join. However, they need to participate at a Peach Lug event at least one time in a year to be eligible for Bulk Lug, because that was one of the things that we did back in the day when we first started Bulk Lug, because we have our Facebook group, and what wound up happening is that we started offering a Bulk Lug, and anybody who was on our Facebook group was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll join, I'll participate." We're like, "But wait a minute, we don't even know who you are. You've never been to an event. You've never been to a meeting." So we instituted a rule years ago that you have to come and participate.
All right, Big Bear, Alabama is a Peach Lug event, right?
Unfortunately, at this moment, it's not. Now, if Peach Lug does decide at the end of the year to come in mass, then it will be a Peach Lug event. But at the moment, it is not.
If we have a table, then it becomes an event. But in the past, we've been split up. So.
Right, and because we actually talked about that, Big Fair, Alabama last night, because in the past, Tennessee Valley has been the town display, and they've decided to do another event. So there's been this gap. A void, so to say. So we could take over and we could do a nice big town display, but we need at least 10 members to commit to coming to Brick Fair, Alabama to do the town display. Okay, we always have at least 10 members show up, but there's a couple of space guys who don't participate in town, so we really can't count that. So we really need to get at least 10 members to show up and say, "Hey, we're doing the town. We're going to bring out the tables, bring out the track, and do that." So we are going to have our first physical meeting in September. So hopefully that might encourage people to say, "Hey, can we get at least 10 people to say, let's go to Alabama and do a town display?" So
what about indentured servitude in the ball pit? the GBC ball pit.
Again, if you're stuck in the ball pit, you're not working the peach slug environment.
But seeing how the GBC loop will be probably 80% peach slug, could that not?
Only because that means that you and Brian and Natalie, who is peach slug associate, will be doing the GBC pit. So hard to say. But yeah, so that's what I got for that. Other than that,
Is there
this old gray brick set of the week? Should we do that?
Yeah, that's what you do. Because you're Dana.
Isn't that the show?
That's what I do.
If you need a minute, we can talk to Brian.
No. We're going straight into this bad boy. It's loading.
Nobody wants to talk to me.
Oh, Brian, it's all right, buddy. We missed you. I promise we'll talk to you. All right, here we go. Actually, Brian, this one's for you.
Week.
Old Gray Brick set of the week. There we go. Sweet flag. Old Gray Brick set of the week is.
What do we got? Week.
6871-1 Star Patrol launcher, which I believe Brian is in the process of reparting out and has a nice little box of instructions to go with it. So this one's for you, Brian.
Yeah.
Theme Classic Space 1984. A whopping 70 pieces for this little set. You got too many figures, though, so that's a big bonus on this one. Retail price was $7.49 back in 1984 in the heart of Classic Space. Used price today, only about $28. So you got one loose with some instructions. If you can find one in the box, seal, $130-ish, give or take. And actually, one of those sold last month. So they're out there. Why is it cool? Too many figures, of course. Flag, there it is. Too many figures, of course. And then, of course, you got two vehicles in one set. Again, lots of lag going on here in the Knutson household. Two vehicles in one set. I'm just going to go ahead and click before I even start talking about the last one. And if you've been a fan of Old Gray Bricks and watching the Old Gray Bricks of the week, you know that I'm a big fan of the Fat Rubber tires. This one gives you 6. Gotta love those. And then for Gil, because Gil is all about the great playability, this set's fun because you got your two dudes, you got different accessories, you got the little flyer that flies off and the rover that goes around.
Gil loves playing with two dudes at once.
Moving right
along. All says.
Hey, how do you know they're two dudes? That was back when minifig faces.
This is true. I did just assume their gender. I apologize.
Yeah.
Do we need like a disclosure statement here that we do not support or condone the use of male and female minifigures of Classic Space? But if you notice in my picture, I don't know if you can see my mouse, he's got a little crack in his helmet. Can we feel a little sorry for him? Aww. Yeah, put the hair on my tangs. So, Old Gray Brick set of the week, 6831 Terrestrial Rover.
Week.
Hooray!
And that's it. Back to you, Mark. Take control.
Thank you. That was lovely. And finally, Brian's been able to join us. What's going on?
Finally. Oh, man. I did a lot of Lego stuff this weekend. I got to go hang out with Matthew and Meredith and some other friends, and we got to build some Legos, so that was fun. He also hooked me up with a nice bag of crystal blue. So
crystal meth.
Just don't tell the police.
Yes, yeah. Don't tell the police, but here it is, live on camera. Not sure what I'm going to use that for yet, but it was too beautiful to pass up. I also rebuilt Weetabix Castle for a review, and then found out that my microphone is busted, so I have to re-record everything. Dana hooked me up with this box.
Oh, that set is so nice.
And it's also got the little flap as well, like the Galaxy Explorer. And I just last night ordered the last handful of pieces and the instructions So whenever that gets here, I can complete that set. And then just today, I got a really cool lot of some old Adventures stuff for $25, and it had 3 base plates and then a little base plate, and then a bag of assorted pieces from the era. So for $25, that was a great deal.
What a bargain!
I know, right? I think I added up. It was close to like $80 at least, just in the adventure stuff. So, nice. That's been my weekend Lego.
Very nice.
You have that village set?
I got some friends that want to live at your house, Brian.
Yay! I will accept them gladly, and I will find a nice home for them. And
there's a few of those guys, and a few of their accessories are coming along. There's a bag of tools in there.
Oh, so, excellent!
Not everything from your list, but
anything helps. Anything helps.
A bit of some Rock Raiders, fellas.
Love it.
Actually, fellas, and a woman. Woman person. Jet is in fact a woman person.
Ah, lady.
She's affectionately known as the Rock Raider babe, but that might be a little misogynistic.
Yeah, although, according to Nick, women were also dude from 1978 to 1987. So
I can concur with that.
See, I fully embraced when I moved to the South in 1999 that y'all is the best thing ever because it's inclusive. It's not like you guys or hey bros. It's y'all.
Does it make us non-binary?
Yeah.
No, man. It's hosers.
I don't
hosers applies to everyone.
Programming, so binary. I don't.
That's possible, Andrew.
Hoser is the Canadian, y'all.
Hey, hoser, put down the beer. It's like it applies, man. It's perfect.
It flies.
Perfect word.
It rolls off the tongue.
It's a total beauty word.
Yeah.
Excellent. I want to say hello to the chat for a moment. Dude Jude has shown up in the past little bit. Alyssa, Stever, and the fabulous A, our old friend Nick. So, yeah, we've gone around the room. We said hi to everybody.
We didn't really say hi to Julian, though.
I believe Chris issued the official topic of the evening was, are you going to continue to build Lego and the hobby and all of this into your retirement years? How long are you going to Lego? How long are you guys gonna stick with it?
Till I reach 99. Because then I'm not legally allowed to anymore.
One more year and then I'm selling out entirely.
As long as I can press down.
Yeah. So as many of you know, this is my retirement plan. And
giving up touring.
Not to say that you're going to sell it to fund your retirement, but you're just going to continue to Lego through your retirement.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. The Brick Gallery where you could create a mock and visit me, and I'll put it on display with full attribution, and you come collect whatever you want, and stuff to see, and maybe some stuff to buy. Stuff that has this on it.
Attribution, is that a word?
Yes, attribution. It's to attribute something to somebody or something.
Absolutely.
Attribution. You want me to spell it? Is this a spelling bee?
It almost sounds like it could be in a musical. Attribution.
Attribution.
You got to do with the snap cans.
If I was a Lego man, I would be a Lego man. Attribution.
That's great, dude.
Yeah, you could come and bring your stuff here and have it seen by everybody for as long as you want.
Sweet.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, John, you know who I saw today? Chatted with? Michael Ty.
Really?
He was gassing his car while I was gassing mine. It was weird.
And all that implies.
All that implies, yes.
Small world.
I don't think I've ever heard gassing other than something intestinal described for when it comes to like filling up your car.
Did you want me to say fill it up?
No,
I live
like
near
you said,
Adamstown.
like
I
you'd be
think
filling up or gassing up, but not gassing
Fueling.
just by itself.
Is usually
Fueling
Yeah.
my car. I live
Petrol.
near Adamstown, very near Adamstown, just north of Ephrata. Does that answer your question, NK?
That's Nick Kapatis, by the way.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
When are you coming to visit, Nick?
Nick the Knife.
When are you and your brood coming to visit?
The brew.
Some of the old timers went to visit Ryan last week, though. Adrian Drake and his family, and
Dan.
Ruben and his family went to Legoland, New York, and visited Ryan and did a little tourism up there. Now that the park is open,
Yeah, we haven't seen him for what, 3 months?
He was on recently.
Yeah, it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I must have missed it. Sorry. Look behind me. You can find it on the map just south of Adamstown.
we're not stalking people, are we?
Who's it? What's it? Who's it? This is
So,
what happens. This is what happens when Chris gives us a topic that's really kind of just meh, and we just
come on. He sort of threw that topic out and was like, "Here's a topic," and we were like, "Nah."
Hey, here's a topic. Lego. Did you guys talk about LegoCon when I had family on? Did we talk about LegoCon and how like Lego couldn't figure out who the heck they were advertising, whatever they were advertising about LegoCon, because my 8-year-old's like, this is stupid, turn it off. And it clearly wasn't for 8-year-olds, and it clearly wasn't for AFOLS. Who was it for?
It was for anybody that could get it to watch it.
Yep, just brand recognition. Put it in your face.
And can we connect that with yet another IT failure for
The
a
Bricklink.
website?
The Bricklink.
Okay, with the Bricklink
Bricklink
designer.
Yeah. Did
Okay,
you see
Bricklink.
the story about the castle? They were only supposed to be 5,000 pre-orders, but they let 10,000 people pre-order. So they're like, well, we're not going to cancel those, but our IT service is so terrible that we couldn't even stop you from buying stuff until you got to 10,000. So.
And on top of that, now they're going to up the cap for all the rest of them to 10,000 too.
And Bionicle still didn't, but Bionicle was the only set out of that group that did not get funded.
Bionicle fans have had their chance and they've blown it, and I'm tired of hearing from them.
Yes. I fully
They need to take a seat.
Bricklink. I am not an IT person like Dana, but I fully expect Bricklink one day to just implode because
it is what it is.
It's so ancient, and clearly Bricklink didn't invest in it. The owner after Bricklink didn't invest in it, and Lego hasn't invested in it. It's just gonna go kaput one day.
Yep.
Das kaputt.
Das.
I mean,
Das Boot.
I don't want to say it's funny to watch the continual failures of how they implement, whether it's the VAT tax and sales taxes in the U.S. and all this other stuff. Now, I don't sell anymore, but I keep on watching it because I do still have a store, and I'm just like, this has become a dumpster fire.
But is the reason why it's failing though? Is it because they don't want to take it down to improve it, or bother running like a parallel development of something better?
They did run a parallel development called Bricklink XP, which is kind of like if I was a random parent and, you know, my child lost their Lego Ninjago J figure, I could go search it really quick, find it, order it, and be done.
Right.
And they spent a lot of effort in that instead of like taking Bricklink and moving it into like at least some sort of semblance of modern current e-commerce website.
Yeah.
So.
But then what happened? If they just didn't launch, or it just?
Well, nobody who's a Bricklink user or I mean, how many moms are looking for their missing minifig? No, you don't have to be on Windows XP. They're just calling it Bricklink XP. It's dead. No one's using it. I mean,
I've never even heard of this.
exactly.
And I use Bricklink a lot.
I know. And instead of making Bricklink more accessible to the current subscriber, they haven't invested in it. So
Yes, Julian just said not in years, and I concur with him. As I am now a seller on Bricklink as well as a buyer, I have noticed that these changes are not good. Everything is bullshit and nothing matters and it's horrible.
I have heard
Hey, everybody.
that IT staff is so busy patching holes that they never have time to work on anything better.
exactly, because there's no investment. We don't bring bodies in.
But I thought the dude who bought it last time, the entrepreneur or whatever, I thought that he was going to be investing like a ton, and I guess he just never did.
No, apparently the back when they did the first Bricklink AFLO designer thing,
Yeah,
they had the staff packing those.
Yeah, all the web developers, they were
Yeah.
packing boxes.
really.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Chris, or I'm sharing, not Chris. I'm sharing Bricklink XP right now. If you want to jump over to the share screen.
Now Jeff is doing it.
I know. I'm sorry.
Inevitably, everybody will confuse.
This website doesn't exist
No,
anymore.
I just yeah. Well,
It's okay.
he's usually
Dana does it.
driving.
I do it
It's-
all the time. I mean,
Dana has known us long enough that he now calls myself and Chris by each other's names at random, and
and
Chris
the
and I are
great
the
thing is,
same entity. We're like one entity in the minds of all the Lego people.
and the great thing is that they both respond to whichever name I call them, so it works.
Yeah, it's okay. We're used to it.
Just like a cat.
So at first I thought the interface didn't look so bad, and then I went to the browse by parts, and
It's like
it looks like Brick Owl's interface.
Again, it's designed for the kind of the parent that needs something or needs a one-off to get something simplistic. But again, I mean, this isn't what the average brick. This is not how the average Bricklink user engages with Bricklink. They want to have a parts list, or they want to have, look at sales. I mean, this is just not how it works.
So I was scared of Bricklink, and then they redid everything, and then I was scared of Bricklink, and now they're redoing everything, and I'm still scared of Bricklink.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, the other thing is that because it's a marketplace, I mean, you have some people, like when I had a store, I'd only do invoicing because, again, I want to check and make sure I have the part or the minifig. I want to check and make sure that if it's a giant order, because they have this they have automatic invoicing that you can set up, but it's automatically going to calculate postage. And a lot of the times it doesn't calculate it right. And at that point, you're locked in as a seller saying, well, if, Bricklink calculated the postage for this would be $5 and it's really $10, you're screwed. I mean, there's nothing you can do. So, a lot of stores, some stores do automatic invoicing, some stores do, again, it's because it's a marketplace. Of course, they could probably implement more controls on that. Again, it's just, it needs to be cleaned up.
Well,
I don't even know how they could do that with like all the crazy VAT taxes and all that stuff. Like for the US,
That is a hot mess too. Like people in the UK because of Brexit are having issues, and then people in the US because now they're collecting sales tax per state are having issues. I mean, it's just an all-around hot mess, and they don't have enough staff to communicate with, hey, we're implementing this, versus they just implement it and say on a website we're doing it. So.
And it's not like Lego has a ample IT staff that they could throw to Bricklink to solve these problems, because shoplego.com has its own problems. So, and I don't know if it's just like they don't have enough dynamic bandwidth so that when everyone tries to buy something at midnight, or maybe if it's just a capacity, we actually have an expert here, Dana could probably speak to that, but I will say in terms of the hand pricing, manual pricing, I still use that on my store. So you can still do that. You know, if someone orders a set, I go on it, estimate the shipping on the UPS website, and then I bill them. But you can still do that. But
Yes.
it is one of the, I think one of the challenges, honestly, for anybody who's designing software for Bricklink is you have lots of different sellers who want to sell lots of different ways. Like I want to do manual invoicing because I'm a small seller. And then you have bazillion countries with their own taxes and their, you know, I mean, it's a tough job. Even if you've got a well-funded IT staff, I think it would be challenging.
Well, I mean, it still all comes down to development time and what you're doing, because it's not like you're having to do it on the fly or anything like that. And there are plenty of marketplaces out there who do similar things. And, you know, instead of having to develop it inside in-house, you know, you outsource it, bring in some consultants and do the whole, you know, hey, this is, you know, today in technology. We're not stuck in 1989. So now I do know, you know, Mary brought up about the whole thing about crashing at midnight. And the fact is that, you know, I made the joke about the fact that, you know, well, if they move to like a cloud services where they could spin up additional turnkey services when they know they're doing releases and stuff like that. So I found out recently they do, and they still don't provision enough. So who knows? Maybe in time they will figure it out, or they will get enough of this to realize, hey, whatever we thought we needed, double it or triple it. And, you know, they only needed to do it for 12 hours, you know, and you know, or maybe 24 hours until the whole globe hits till 12 o'clock at night or whatever they want to do. But again,
they probably need to do 10 times as much bandwidth as that they currently have.
They need to. I mean, I got to give Lego a little credit. I got to give Lego a little tiny bit of credit. They do seem to learn from their mistakes, but it takes a while for them to learn. Because, for example, release day sets used to be horrible. You know, a store would get like 20 copies of a set for release day and be sold out within like an hour, hour and a half. Now they're at least upping it to like 65. Even for a good, I mean, what, the R2D2s? Those were like, they had like 65 copies. That was pretty impressive for a release day. So they are learning. It's just taking them time. Now, I know, for example, like the new, the pre-sales that they've been doing has not been doing well at all. Nobody is taking advantage of that. They're getting hardly anybody participating.
Are you saying pre-orders online or the store pre-sales?
Store pre-sales.
Oh.
Now, I don't know about online, but I mean, from what I've heard from both of our stores here, that the pre-sales in the store are, I mean, they aren't happening. People aren't embracing it. And I don't know if it's just a lack of marketing. I joke about this because we all know that I love the marketing department at Lego, but I think if they did market the pre-sales, that it would be something more to it. Like maybe just, that's a live background for Jeff, by the way. That if they marketed the pre-sales a little better.
I'm not Julian. What am I doing here?
Made the pre-sales have an incentive to do it, then that would get people to do it. But right now there's no incentive. So people are like,
I think that pre-sales at stores, they think that the average consumer is going to do it, or if adult fans of Lego are going to do it, they do it there. But they're not. They go to the website. That's it. They're like, I already have something I'm used to. I'm going to use that. It works.
Well,
why would I want to go to the store and do it?
Yeah.
I'm probably in the top 1% of households that buy Lego, and I didn't know about the pre-sale until I was at a store and the store manager said, you know, you can reserve those. We're gonna set aside, and if you put a deposit down, it'll be here. And I was like, oh, well,
I used to get pre-sales all the time because I knew the manager at Potomac Mills and say, hey, would you put a couple of these or do that or blah blah blah. But I'm not there anymore, and he's long gone, and I don't know the people at the Lego stores anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is that there's no advertisement whatsoever for the pre-sale. And again, I mean, even if there is no incentive like a GWP or save 5% or whatever, if you don't tell us that it's even available, no one's going to use it.
Yeah.
So
And online at Shop at Home, they don't actually have a separate category. They have like coming soon, currently available type thing. But all the pre-sale ones are under currently available,
which is
and
confusing.
which is confusing. And they do have a little tiny note written on there that says for pre-order type thing.
Yeah.
But you can't search for pre-order items.
No, you can't.
So and it looks like if today I went on because I was like, oh, when are what sets are coming out August 1st? And I could look at all the coming soon ones, but we are missing half of them. Well, not half of them, but like a quarter of them or so because they were all listed as pre-sale, and you can't search for that.
Yeah.
So what you're saying to me and to other people who are watching this that are going to Brick Fair, Virginia, we should look to order stuff on pre-sale from the store at Tyson's Showing Mills and have it ready and waiting for us the moment we get to.
Yeah,
But-
sure. What he said.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, here's the other thing: is why would I do that? Because I have a Lego store in my town. I mean, I'm going to go there to look at their wall, but frankly, unless they have a damaged box,
But not everybody is as lucky as you, Matt. I mean, I used to be a lucky man. I used to live 10 minutes from the Potomac Mills store, but I don't anymore. It's an hour to get to King of Prussia.
That's true. You'll have people coming in from places that are a hike away from a store.
Pro tip: the Tyson's Corner store won't put out cool pick a brick stuff at least until like Wednesday of the week of Brick Fair.
Well, that's when I'm getting there. So perfect.
No, like we went earlier. We went like Monday, and they had like, oh, we're not putting that cool stuff out until like Brick Fair kicks off, like Wednesday or Thursday.
I'm
That
getting
was
there.
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do it
Things might
differently.
have changed. Who knows?
Okay, so subject change.
Please.
Something that we talked to Chris about. The few of us, myself and Dana and Matthew, are in a little text with Chris. He said that we can talk about but not look at leaked minifigures from the upcoming CMF series for Marvel figures. And by the way, today the What If Marvel series trailer is on YouTube, so go look at that. It's really neat. So some of the figures that are coming out in the new CMF line are from that series. Some of them are. I did see one today that's a Loki character. It's
TVA Loki or
yeah. It's actually Sylvie with her little crown.
horn. Cool.
I saw a leaked photo of her.
Is there an alley Loki?
Yes,
Is there an alley Loki?
Supposedly.
is.
And I saw. I know Captain Carter is one of the figures that's going to be in the CMF line.
Yeah. That photo has also leaked as well out there.
Yeah. Okay. What else do you guys know that's going to be in the?
I just want New Asgard with Brothor, Korg, and Meek.
Well, yeah, that's not in the CMF line.
I know.
Pictures, but yes, we all want that set. It's awesome.
I wanted. What's the director's name? Tahiki Wahati. Taika Wahati.
Taika Waititi.
Waititi.
Yeah.
I just think he's wonderful, and I love his voice for Korg. I love the interview where they're like, "Oh, I'm just trying to be this like innocuous New Zealand bouncer that I once interacted with." That was my what do you call it, method for Korg. So.
And to me, the Cord, I always thought at first I had to look it up, but I thought Cord was being voiced by the guy from Flight of the Condors.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
The Asian dude, the Asian guy. I totally thought that was who it was because it just totally sounded like it. And I looked at him, I'm like, oh no, it's not. Because he's the guy who does what's his name on the new Voltron series. Very similar sounding voices.
I know who you're talking about.
You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. If you're a Voltron fan, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how deep, like Mark, how deep into spoiler territory do we want to get? Because
without posting pictures, is all we can do.
No. I mean in like Loki spoiler territory.
Yeah, there's a couple characters that the names of the characters are spoilers. So
Exactly.
So do we need to post Do we have a banner for spoilers?
Why don't we say let's have mercy on people who have at least not seen this week's episode?
There
let's,
we go.
Okay.
Yes, because that's me. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Last week's episode was a week ago, and they've all had their chance to watch it. But this week, maybe be nice
Right.
about it.
The leaked list from a few weeks ago came out, and it's starting to show some credence. Right, it has Loki with a certain other figure along with him that I'm super excited about as well. For those of you that have found that list, and we can talk about that next week when we're outside of a character that was introduced this
Is
week.
there a Miss Minute? Is
Yes.
there a
Well,
Miss Minute?
we could
No,
talk
no.
about the Captain America series because we're going to get a Sam Wilson minifig.
Yes.
We're going to get a Bucky minifig. So I mean that series has been done for a while, so I don't feel like I'm ruining
And I think
anything.
a White Vision is also in there as well.
White Vision. We're going to get the
Nice.
Scarlet Witch, and we're going to get Monica Rambeau.
Yes.
So those were from the series that was out a while ago.
I'm excited about the Scarlet Witch. I'm excited about Captain Carter. Like, I really like that idea of the whole switcheroo thing. I'm gonna buy that set with the
Oh yeah.
robot, and like I like the Marvel What Ifs were my favorite Marvel comics. So like getting some of those is gonna be great. I don't really care for the Black Panther What If story they're going with. What if Tony Stark got rescued by but the figures would look pretty cool. That'll be a find all of them and buy all of them situation for me because it's a comic book and
It's Marvel. Yeah.
well, it's not even that it's Marvel. Like, I'm not really a big fan of Marvel in the biggest of schemes, but like I just like comic books. I like the Marvel movies.
See, for me, when I was growing up, I was a Marvel kid versus a DC kid. So like X-Men, Alpha Flight, New Mutants, that was my jam. If it was
Black
a mutant involved character storyline, boom, I was in there. So I naturally gravitate towards even though I was never a big Captain America or Fantastic Four or Avengers fan, I'm still gravitating towards those more so than the DC movies or the DC stuff just in general because I was a Marvel kid. So
Yeah, and plus the DC Marvels are garbage.
yeah.
Good. They're just not good. I mean,
The Snyder Cut was good.
No, it was bad. I mean, the ending was ridiculous. I mean, I'm just sitting here like, okay, whatever. Batman has no superpowers. You're trying to make him relevant. He's completely out of his league. I'm like, I don't care about the ending of this movie.
Out of his Justice League.
Well, so Matt's dead. Bye, Meredith.
Bye, Meredith.
Thanks for
Night. I
coming.
put my munchkin to bed.
See you, Meredith.
See ya.
I am curious if
Woohoo! I'm center square. Oh, sorry.
did we
All wins.
Is there a U.S. agent minifigure coming out too with the line, or am I mistaken?
It's been a while since I looked at the list. I can't remember if USA.
I don't recall.
No, it's not on the list I'm looking at. So the other two that are not spoilers is a Sylvie figure and a Loki in a TVA dress.
Yeah.
But you've seen those. If you've watched even like 3 episodes, you're aware of those. So.
What about Horse Loki?
See the trailers.
Yeah.
I know we're getting a Beta Ray Bill too, aren't we?
No, that'd be cool, but no.
We're getting
I think
Horse Loki
eventually-
though, right?
No, we're not even getting Frog Loki, which, by the way,
What?
that is
No,
now
it's
canon.
Frog Thor. Frog Thor.
And according to that list, we are
That we're getting what?
Throg.
Are we getting Throg?
Yeah, that's the one I didn't want to spoil.
Thanks,
but you
Dan.
just
Well,
dropped it,
I
so-
wasn't, but because we talked about, and I had to explain this to my wife. Do you not remember in Thor Ragnarok where Thor was talking about the great fun that he and Loki had when they were children? And there was this one time when he turned me into a frog. So technically not a spoiler.
And Beta Ray Bill was on one of the statues in Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
He was also on wasn't he on the? I thought there was some reference to him on the Asgard ship too.
Rationalization.
Oh yeah. But apparently, I thought I read somewhere that they're not going to do.
Would even picked up on these Easter eggs. That's a spoiler.
Well, this is true. I mean, literally, for the one that John and I are alluding to, I paused. I rolled back because I was like, is that in the jar? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I've seen some other people break it down and just say, "Yep, that's what that is."
Without being spoilers, I was a kid in a candy store with this last episode. It was fun.
I mean, I caught Mjolnir when it floated by, but I didn't quite catch the jar.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That was awesome. Yeah.
I mean, images of good
Yeah,
comics as
Mark,
well.
I think that we're all super excited. This is what that boils down to, right? Like,
Ryan's a fan of Golden Key comics, like Richie Rich and
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Casper the Ghost. Yeah,
I will say,
I thought it was more like White Horse comics with Spawn, but okay.
which is not to be confused with Dark Horse Comics.
yeah, I mean, I'm publisher agnostic, but I would say that I probably have read more Marvel than anything else. But my shelf.
I don't know if you believe in publishers.
I gotta say that as a kid, I was a big Fantastic Four fan, regardless of whatever medium it was on, whether it was Saturday morning cartoons or comic books or whatever. So
Yeah.
to see different other Marvel Universe things is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like, I really hope we get the Fantastic Four pretty soon. I think that's going to be 2024. Would make sense. So, that would be dope. Maybe.
see if they can break the curse because man, that franchise is cursed.
Well, it's not that the franchise is cursed; it's that they've just been bad movies.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it's like odd numbered Trek films. It's just
Yeah, it's like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that everybody likes. Those are horrible, by the way.
Although
Is any
now, wait a minute, Jeff, just a second.
They're okay.
Visually, the Spider-Man scenes were cool because watching him swing through New York was freaking fantastic for the time. But that's it. You're right.
Is anybody worried that we've waited so long for Black Widow to come out that it's just not going to meet any expectations?
I'm sorry, what?
I was saying, is anybody worried that
Yes.
with Black Widow being delayed so long that we're now
Jeff, let
we've
me
been
say
waiting
this
for
again.
it for so long? It's just when we watch it, it's not going to meet our expectations.
Jeff, let me say this again. What?
It's Black Widow. Come on.
It's a
no,
movie
I
that should
understand
have
that, but
Never
it
heard of it.
came out 5 years ago. I mean, it's way too late to release that movie, and now it's even more too late to release the movie.
The same
think
can be
if
said
you-
for Ghostbusters Afterlife, but we're not going to say that because I'll come to your house.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they do technically the Black Widow movie, but it was the girl from Hunger Games, and it was like Red something or other?
And that movie was
Sparrow.
dope.
Red
The girl from
Sparrow,
Hunger
yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Chef's
so
kiss.
I mean, that was our Black Widow movie.
What are you laughing at, Dana?
Just saying, you're right that it could have been done like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and now it's kind of just like
Yeah.
And honestly, like if we I don't know how many pseudo femme Nikitas I've seen on TV
Right?
and film over the year, like millions of and like what's her name, Scarlett Johansson herself. She's played that character twice in 2 other movies, like Lucy and Under the Skin or whatever else. It's like
Ghost in the Shell.
Don't forget about Ghost in the
oh
Shell.
no, no,
exactly.
just let's not even talk about that because I'm refusing to acknowledge that it exists.
Old Gray Bricks. Hey, everybody, it's Small Paul.
Small ball cam.
It's everybody. He's hiding under his blanket. It's Small Paul.
Ta-da!
The most non-shy kid until you put him in the spot. Jeff, did I spark a nerve when I refused to talk about the Ghost in the Shell, or were we on the same page?
No, I enjoyed it, but I can see why other people wouldn't.
I mean, visually, graphically, yes, it's cool, but from a Masamune Shirow fan perspective, it was just a freaking nightmare.
See, I don't know anything about anything with that. Like,
Well,
I know.
and that's beautiful because that's what Hollywood is hoping for, is that most people don't know the source material and don't care because that's how Hollywood operates. aka Party Player One. And yeah,
I only sort of know what Ghost in the Shell was, and the movie was okay, but I couldn't critically assess it based on not anything I knew.
Yeah. So no, they basically took like the original storyline, the second storyline, and the third anime representation of it, and just bashed it together like a horrible kit bash of Chima and Agents figures together. It was bad. It's just
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
My friend Don says that I need to watch the series, and
Standalone Complex, absolutely. That is a high recommendation. Definitely.
I can't get over that outfit though, man. The big pomp hair and like the thong on the outside and stuff. Like,
welcome to Anime Great Bricks.
I was in, Greg. Do I even know who you are?
Because you know why? You know what I actually prefer, and this is kind of an unpopular thing, is the ones that came after it with the short hair.
Oh yeah. Where she's more of the schoolgirl style.
Yeah, she's less like voluptuous and like more like plain.
And that was actually probably a better storyline, but again, was kind of a mash of things and not really following along with the comic series lines, either one of them. But
no,
I'm going deep dive on this one. So
yeah.
And to me, if they really did a really good Appleseed would have been a bigger fan of, but that's just me.
Yeah. Is anybody excited about the Cowboy Bebop live show, or is that just me?
I'm scared, personally. Yeah. I'm scared because it's such a great property that, if they do it right, it will be like its second revival if they do it right. But if they do it horribly, it's going to be like Ghost in the Shell for me. It'll be like, you had such an opportunity and then you wasted it.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
Time will tell.
Yep. Really want to make a swordfish from that, but I haven't sat down and actually built. Been a little too busy.
I've seen some good swordfishes out there, and there are some good ones. I'm waiting for somebody to do a bebop. That would be cool.
That's the dream.
You check out Jamie Neufeld's from way back in the day.
Did he do one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
I was almost going to say that you were going to tell me that Adrian did one.
Yeah, he did one that's 1-to-1 scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I can see Adrian doing that.
Yeah.
You can't remember how to put it back together.
But yeah, because there's been a few live actions that have done, like the Death Note one was, other than the fact that it had William Dafoe's voice, that was about as good for that. The Bleach one was pretty good, but then at the end they kind of went off in some weird direction that, if they just stayed to the source material like they did for the first hour, they'd have been better off. So,
what about Jinro? I saw they did that too. Live action. That's on Netflix now.
Yeah. I can't comment. I don't know.
Yeah. Did you see the original anime?
Jinro, I did. It's bits and pieces. It wasn't something that I had seen really well.
It's really good. Like, it's the story again. It's kind of like it kind of wanders like AD Police or something, right? But the way that it was shot and everything, it's probably the most cinematic anime I've ever seen.
I'll have to give it a second look. I know it's I think I had it to my list, but it was just never got to it. But props for you for dropping AD Police.
Oh yeah, that thing is weird, man. I was watching a few of the old episodes, and they're after this one cyborg, and what was it? It was so bizarre. Every time the cyborg went through this pseudo menstruation period, she would murder men at random, and the discussions they're having, back in the other, like the head cop's office.
It sounds like an episode of Supernatural.
Oh no, but it's even worse because it's this weird mix of 80s misogynism and stuff that you just, it's like, man, I don't want to hear this. Like, something's wrong. Turn it off. Right? It's just
Mark, let go of the wheel. There should have been a PG-13 warning popping up.
All right. So before Mark comes back and reins in the wheels again, and because I know that Jeff is a big fantasy fan, tell me you've at least watched the Record of the Lotus War. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm not quizzing you or questioning your fanhood. I just wanted to make sure that you had, and if you hadn't,
My friend Don loaned me the DVDs, and I watched it before. Emily has not. So the plan is to indoctrinate Emily.
There we go. Because to me, and this is my last parting shot on anime in general, is that those original couple episodes of Record of the Lost War is the quintessential D&D party.
Yeah.
Just hands down, you've got all your character classes doing exactly the things that they're supposed to do, and then a dragon. It's a 10-year-old's D&D wet dream.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. So that's the end of my shtick.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to build it anymore. That guy did a better job.
This is from the best thing is this is from 2006, so it goes back a little ways. But it's full instructions on Brickshelf.
Oh wow,
that's neat.
Yeah, so you do need to build it, but you can build this one if you wanted to, and then make mods. So.
Oh wait a minute, go back to the fact that he actually spec'd out which minifigure pieces to use.
Hey, there it is.
Okay, look at that Faye Valentine. That's hysterical.
So yeah, there's a few good swordfish back in the day on Brickshelf, but this one seems to be kind of the coolest, classiest one to me.
I dig it.
I think that's Molly's, right?
Yep, that's Molly's.
Yeah.
Molly Friedrich.
Yep.
I dig it. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So you guys go to more conventions than I've ever been to in my life, and you guys do the Lego thing longer than I have, except for Brian. Sorry, man. So have you guys seen a lot of like anime sci-fi builds at these conventions, or is it just like wet dreams that we're all talking about? Like, it'd be great if we saw this or that. Like, if so, what was your favorite one?
You'll see builds of pretty much any fandom that there is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but it depends. And it always changes, so it's not like you see it consistently.
Yeah.
Well, what were some of the favorite ones you saw?
I think the year, was it 205? Whatever the one I was at, 205, 207?
You were at 06.
06. Oh, there you go. The one I didn't pick. Yeah, I think that year steampunk was huge. And some of the stuff there, steampunk and floating island. Mm-hmm. And I think that the two that stood out, Freak built that huge red airship of his that was motorized and all that stuff, which was cool. It was amazing to see that. But then also there was a guy who built this series of floating islands that were connected by bridges. And then each one had these steampunk conveyances that went between them and stuff. And it was just mind-blowing. Gorgeous work. Really, really, really nice.
There's gonna be a lot of steampunk this year at Brick Fair, Virginia. They've got a decent island of stuff. I'm actually going to bring a couple of my steampunk items back to it too as well.
Nice.
There's been, and as much as it pains me as someone that builds brick, there's been some really amazing Bionicle creations that are the Pokemon ones, like the organic shapes out of Bionicle pieces of I think it was Rapidash was one of the more oh my god ones. But there have been a few of those at Brick Fair that just have completely blown me out of the water of the way that they've got the shaping going. I know, I see the look, Jeff.
I had to explain to Matthew because he was commenting in a different chat. He's like, there is a really large area in Richmond, Virginia devoted to Bionicle. And I was like, oh, yes. I had to explain to him that Brickford, Virginia is the mecca for Bionicle fans worldwide.
Let me tell you, Patrick Biggs is now, I looked on this steampunk item who's displaying steampunk. And Patrick Biggs, who is the Bionicle guy, or one of the Bionicle guys, he's actually submitting a steampunk figure that's going to stand about this big, at least, out of Bionicle for steampunk. and it looks, just the picture itself looks fantastic.
When you have guys who use they use Bionicle to define their own sort of like preconceived shape rather than letting the pieces define the shape, man, they create some incredible things. Like you see those Bionicle dragons. There's a guy that does this mythical armored centaur, which is mind-blowing. Like it's just gorgeous. But again, it's because like they're using the pieces to define the shape rather than saying like, here's a piece, some spiky piece of crap, and just saying it's a spiky piece of crap. It's like, you know, the guys who know what they're doing, yeah, man, all on board. Keep going hard with that stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, I always try to strive for steampunk, but I always caught myself getting like stuck on things and stuff like that. And I ordered a Zeppelin, and I'm gonna explore that a lot because I want to do the big airship, and I want my dinghy to have a ship to dock with. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm leaving that alone too, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mark, what do you say we land this plane and call it a night?
Yeah, as I say, I'm on the team, dude.
It kind of felt like the conversation sort of. So you know, it's 8:30. I think it's a good time to wrap it up. But thank you guys for joining me this evening in Chris's absence, and thanks to everybody in the chats. We had actually a reasonably active chat this evening, a bunch of people. Thank you guys for joining us on Old Gray Bricks, and we will see you on Messy Monday. So,
or Muddy Monday, whatever we're calling it these days.
Good night, everybody.